The end of May had come, and I could hardly wait to return to my home on the rocky coast of Maine. It is a long journey, and I was weary when my car came to a halt in the driveway. I turned off the motor, rolled down the window, and breathed in the fresh scent of pine and sea air. How good it was to be with nature again. As soon as I left my car, I noticed 3 chipmunk holes in the driveway near my front tire. "Gracious!" I cried. "I might have driven right over them." "No need to worry," a friend assured me. "Chipmunks always have several escape routes, just in case one of their tunnel entrances should collapse." The following morning, I was determined to catch a glimpse of a chipmunk climbing out of one of those holes. I positioned myself under a pine tree at a safe distance and was prepared to wait for a long time. But to my surprise, a little striped head suddenly popped out and looked all around as if to say, "Hello, world." Little did I know that this was the beginning of a long friendship. Belinda, as I decided to call her, soon made herself known everywhere. She must have thought, for example, that bird feeders are really for chipmunks. In the process of vacuuming it clean to the very last seed, she took delight in acrobatic stunts, first swinging from her front paws and then hanging upside down from her back. "Belinda," I said to her lovingly, "besides giving you the biggest appetite in the rodent kingdom, nature has certainly made you the best trapeze artist in the world." I often sit outside by the cliff's edge and lose myself in the glorious view. The sun glistening on the ocean and the waves crashing on the rocks below. To my left is a table on which I keep books, paper, pencils, and, of course, a jar of birdseed. One day, I accidentally left the jar uncovered. Nothing ever escaped Belinda's notice. In a flash, she hopped onto the table and just as quickly came to a halt when she saw the jar. "That's the strangest looking chipmunk feeder I ever saw," she seemed to be thinking. "I wonder if it's safe." But curiosity got the better of her, and in one leap, she was perched on the thin rim of the jar. Never one to be modest about her acrobatic skills, Belinda proudly balanced herself and wondered whether or not she should take the plunge. Belinda didn't wait too long, though. Grasping the thin rim of the jar with her 5 tiny toes on her hind legs, she dove in head first and gorged herself to her heart's content. "Why do you look so surprised?" she seemed to say. "Headstands are all in a day's work." As I watched Belinda repeatedly fill her pouches with birdseed, run back to her home where she stored it, and then return to the jar again, I noticed that the level of birdseed would soon be too low for her to reach. On one of her trips to her granary, therefore, I tipped the jar over on its side. When Belinda returned to the table and saw what I had done, she stood motionless on her hind legs and looked at me with the most tender expression. "That was very nice of you," her eyes seemed to say. "Thank you, thank you." The jar was all aglow with sunlight, and Belinda looked radiant inside of it. If ever a chipmunk entered heaven itself, it must surely have been Belinda.